welcome back to the Go To Driving School YouTube channel. Today I'm here with Rosie.
Hi.
How long have you been doing lessons now?
Since January, so it's 3 months now, isn't it? 4 months.
Let the viewers know, if you can, what sort of things we've been covering.
Quite a lot of things, almost. Like, I've been missing a lot of parts of driving. I've been really nervous. But now it's different.
There's been a real transformation, hasn't there,
Yes.
over the last week or two, and a lot of it's been planning based, hasn't it? Getting a bit more forward planning in and bringing that into your driving. Look out for Rosie's roundabouts, particularly pleased with those at the moment. Today anyway, we're going to do the first mock test, and so we'll see how that goes, and we've said to book the test, but today's really just about, because we've covered mainly everything, haven't we?
Yes, we did.
Highlighting any areas that we need to work on. We've just recapped the parallel park, and we're going to do the bay part later if we've got time. So it's your first mock test ever?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm a bit nervous.
That's normal, means you care. Rosie is, what do you do?
I'm doing nails in the nail salon in Swan.
Rosie owns her own business, so if you're in Derby, some of the nails that I've seen Rosie come to lessons with is absolutely extraordinary. Do you mind just giving us a quick...
Yeah.
I will put the link to Rosie's Facebook page in the description of this video. Would you like me to explain a little bit about the test that we're about to do?
Just please.
This test is going to last around 40 minutes. Half of it's going to be using a sat-nav.
Okay.
I'm going to give you directions in good time. I will let you know when the sat-nav phase finishes as well. If you are unsure at any time, just let me know. Okay. If I need to override the sat-nav, I will, in terms of giving you a clearer instruction. There'll be one manoeuvre and possibly an emergency stop.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and I'll ask you to pull up a number of times as well at the side of the road, so it's not for a particular reason, it's just part of the test. Okay. Your job is to follow, like your driving lessons, follow the road ahead at all times, unless road or traffic signs direct you otherwise.
Yeah.
Alright, again, if you're unsure, let me know in good time. Don't wait till we actually get to something to ask. Yeah. Alright? That's pretty much it. Any questions from yourself?
No.
Alright. So drive on when you're ready. Turning right at the roundabout, please. Turning right at this roundabout.
In 30 yards, at the roundabout, take the third exit. Rains Way, take the third exit.
It's the next exit left.
Here.
That's it, yeah, just come in. It's the next exit.
Okay, just here, isn't it?
Do what you'd normally do in terms of working exits out. The next actual exit.
I'm not sure. It's just straight on.
The next exit.
In 300 yards, at the roundabout, do a U-turn.
So go ahead at the roundabout.
Do a U-turn.
Really sorry about the sat-nav, it's just deciding to take us a completely different way to it than it usually does today. At the next roundabout, it's going to be ahead.
In 100 yards, at the roundabout, take the second exit. Shardler Road.
Okay, now it's remembered what it told me all the other times. So, back to following the sat-nav.
Follow the sat-nav.
Yes, please. So, just had to use the pedals there, or else we're just about to go bashing into the curb. Okay. Let's come out of roll here.
Okay.
The examiner would not do that, and they'd let you smash into the curb with my lovely wheels, right?
Yeah.
Why did that happen? I know exactly why it's just happened.
I steer too much on the left.
On the left, what? Sorry.
Too long on the left.
Why though?
Because I'm looking to park, but then I don't know why. I'm just steer too much on the left and then not taking the steer off.
Yeah, because you're not looking where you're going at that point. You're looking in your mirrors.
Okay.
To me, when I've seen you, you're looking in the. I think at that point in time, you're looking in that mirror, or looking over here. You need to be looking down there.
Yeah.
So that the road's telling you to take your steering off.
Okay.
What's going to happen on test is you're probably going to whack the curb. It might be, or it might be a fault, and it might not. I've known them not be faults, as ridiculous as that is.
Okay.
If there's a pedestrian stood down you at the curb, different story. It's definitely going to be a serious fault, or somebody around. I don't think I can fail you for it as much as I'd want to.
Okay.
But I would love you to learn that lesson, please. You don't do that. You've not done that for ages.
No, I haven't done it.
Let's analyse this very, very quickly. Just put the handbrake on.
Okay.
When we do move off, Rosie, you're going to need to keep that right steer on. In fact, put a bit more on. The second the wheels begin to move forwards.
Keep the right on. Like
yeah,
that.
definitely don't steer left. I just stopped it just in time. Do you think it's anything to do with the fact that this is a busier road as well?
This is not really busy, as just in terms of the van behind me trying to move, try to take over me. That's it.
Yeah, so that might have just took you thinking. Look, as long as you've slowed down, there ain't a lot much more you can do. I mean, monitor it in the mirror, but don't stare at it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So all I was trying to get at was, I think you might have done that because it's a busier road, and but I guess that kind of is the case. So I'm going to mark that as a position, normal stops.
Okay.
But really, it's you not looking where you're going. All right. So that won't be a fail. Just coming out of roll here. I'm going to go back in roll now, as though I'm your examiner, and yeah, drive on when you're ready.
In 200 yards, at the roundabout, take the second exit. Shardler Road. Take the second exit. In 200 yards, at the roundabout, take the second exit. take the second exit. In 100 yards, at the roundabout, take the third exit. A6. Take the third exit. Next exit, bear left. Bear left.
Rousey's first exit.
In 10 yards, at the roundabout, take the 6th exit.
Yeah, don't do that. Turn left first exit, please. And following the sat-nav again now. Safe place, please. Thank you. Drive on when you're ready. The end of following the sat-nav now. Take the next road on the left, please. first exit at the mini roundabout. safe, could you show me how you'd put on your rear wiper, please? The rear wiper.
At the back.
Yes, please. Thank you. Turning left, please. So what would you usually be doing today then, Rosie?
Just walking and normal. Yeah, nothing much.
Walking?
Yeah, walking.
Is that because you ain't got a licence yet? Oh, working, sorry.
Yeah.
Got you. Roundabout, we're going to go ahead and it's your second exit. Second exit at the next roundabout. Take the next road on the right, please. Yeah, we're just going to U-turn. We was meant to take the second exit at the last roundabout, not first. So that would have been a left turn, the one you just took. So at the junction here, turn right. And then if you could reverse us and just change, get us back heading in the right direction, please. end of the road, we're going to turn left. We're going to get back on track, heading back towards that roundabout. But I'll give you directions. So left at the end of this road. And left at the roundabout first exit. Roundabout, we'll turn left, please. Left at the roundabout. Pull up on the left just before you reach the brown car. Black. Drive on when you're ready. worse now. We're much closer to the junction, and we're opposite that junction now. All right, so it was okay then. It's not as okay now, but I need to tell you something. So, firstly, do you think it's worth turning the wipers off, the front and rear? Yeah. Okay. We're going to look at doing the emergency stop next.
Okay.
All right. So the instruction will be stop. Don't do anything until I give that signal. I will check to make sure it's safe first for you to carry out the manoeuvre by checking my mirror and over my shoulder. Okay. So drive on when you're ready. Turning left at the roundabout, please. Stop. Thank you. Drive on when you're ready. I won't be asking you to do that again. Turn left. Silver car on the left. On the left. Thank you. So the next thing we're going to look at doing is the parallel park.
Okay.
Alright, so I want you to land within 2 car lengths behind this car. Don't worry about the driveways for the purposes of this. Okay, so when you're ready, we'll do the parallel park. That's fine there, thanks. Thank you. And drive on when you're ready. To the end of the road, turn left, please. Left, it's just after the big hedge here. Next road on the left. At the crossroads, turn right. Second exit at the roundabout, and then turning right at the second roundabout. Second exit at both. Ahead here, second exit. Thank you. I'm going to turn right at the next roundabout. Second exit. Turn left at the roundabout, first exit. behind the black car, Rosie, close as you can, so that other people can use this behind us. Well, the weather changed, didn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice. It was nice.
Cheers, that'll be fine. Okay, that's the end of the test. Let me just finish doing what I need to do here.
It's gone really quick.
Yeah, did you feel it went quick?
Yeah.
How did you find it compared to, I don't know, what you expected, or?
Compared to my general driving, I'm a bit nervous. That's why at the first of the what is called the Sat-nav, I'm
Yeah.
a bit confused and not as good as I expect. But after that, I'm okay, I think.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing at times. Today, it was, so just for yourself and for those watching as well, I've put those same postcodes in on different days and it's took me the way I wanted it to go. Today it threw a spanner in the works and started taking me in a different way. You've done 2 tests before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
3 actually.
3?
Yeah.
So, how does it feel now compared to preparing for this test in Derby? Because you did a test somewhere else, didn't you?
Some in the village, really quiet.
Was it?
Compared to Derby, but actually now I feel confident. I feel like I can drive my own car now. I feel that.
Good, good. So it was a different feeling going in before then?
Yeah,
It weren't...
completely different, and it's like up level now.
Yeah, bless you. Right, okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So
Wow.
12 faults, but it is a pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So a pass, 12 faults. I'm going to write down the route we did. It was Shardlow, let's say. Right, so let's talk through them.
Yeah.
The emergency stop was certainly a stopper, weren't it?
Yeah.
Remember what we said though, try and brake firm and progressive, try not to stamp too much.
Okay.
You didn't stamp, but it was very quick. Because if you do that on any loose surface, what do you think could happen?
Because it could affect the roads users around, or
It could do if you skid.
oh yeah.
It could affect
No.
the road users if you skid.
Different, different weather, isn't it? It's raining.
Exactly. Yeah. So if it was raining like it is now, it weren't then, and you did that, who knows?
Okay.
Heard the ABS kick in at the end.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, natural instincts will probably take over, but
Okay.
just try not to press as firmly as early, because
Okay.
that could induce a skid.
Yeah.
All right, but still firm and progressive. You're on the right track. Don't start pressing it soft or anything. Just, you know, like almost like, so rather than down, it's more down.
Okay.
Not much in it.
Yeah.
All right, so gears. There's a couple of gear faults. What you tend to do is you drop in gears because you're seeing that you might be slowing down ahead,
Yeah.
and do you need to drop them all the time, do you think?
Not really, not necessary. But sometimes I think I'm overthinking quite a bit, and then
Yeah.
I'm like more planning too much.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, you can
So,
never plan too much.
yeah.
But if you watch it on one of the country roads, you went to third, then did all the braking. You know, when we turned left just before a pub, we did a mini roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a mini roundabout and then followed it up and over. You were doing 30, as one of the faults, you were doing 36 on the way to National, it was still 30.
Yeah.
So but then you yeah, so you spotted the bend, that's great, like your planning's improved so much, but brake first, get
Yeah.
the speed down that you want to reduce in time for the bend, then do the gear.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll be all smooth.
That's it.
I have marked you for eco on here. The eco safe driving, eco doesn't contribute to the final results, but it's something that's worth letting you know about. So sometimes we've been driving down the roads in 2nd gear or 3rd gear when the gears should have been put up.
Okay.
So you've got to listen, and I said it to you on the way over to site this morning, before we started recording.
Yeah.
You need to listen to the engine a little bit more, and even though you know you might be doing something ahead, well, give the car what it needs for here and now, and deal with what it is coming up later on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a few there for gears. You know, you've gone down from 6 to 4. I think it was when we entered the faster road, and it said keep left, and you kept left. You're going off onto that 3-lane carriageway.
Yeah.
You dropped down to 4, and it was a bit. But we've made nice progress in the end there. It's really nice to see, overtaking the lorries, moved back in at the right times. You knew how long you'd got left, so you planned it all quite nicely using the Sat-nav well. So, you know, not all bad, but do think about that with the gears.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a note, because this is our plan going forward. Yeah, that's the whole idea of this.
Yeah.
Tell me what I've just said to you, so that I know you know.
So it's like gear change, but not so often. Not just change it when the car needs to do it.
Yeah.
And
whether it's up or down.
Yeah, and then brake more before we change.
Yeah.
Down to the lower gear.
That's it. So change gear when car needs it, and really basically you've got to listen.
Listen to the car. Yeah.
What's it sound like when it needs a gear change? What does it sound like?
Sound like not happy.
Yeah, a bit louder.
Yeah.
That's it. And you said you're going to brake more first, didn't you?
Yeah.
Brake more first. Then the gear, yeah? Then the gear.
Drop the gear.
Then gear. Gears. Right, okay, so that's the gear one done there. And so progress appropriate speed. A couple of times just going over the limit. Were you aware when you were doing it?
I did, but then I'm like, oh, what the speed limit here? I didn't see the sign. I missed the sign probably, and then I realised that I've done it wrong.
Yeah.
But just after that, so can't do anything with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Quite a few times I realised that.
Yeah.
As well.
So just bring that speed down. As soon as you realise, just ease off the gas and let it drop again.
Okay.
So we've got 3 there for appropriate speed. One of them was when I said doing 36.
Okay.
The other one was doing 31. I think it was just this road to back here actually.
Yeah,
and then the first one was at the very beginning of the test, coming down Shardlow Road, just the very beginning before we got to the Lodge pub. Before I asked you to I think it was after I asked you to pull up the first time.
Okay.
So it was after the Lodge pub actually. I think it was just after that, going down there doing 31, but 32 flickering. But the point was, it was at that speed for quite a long time, if I remember rightly.
Sure, yeah.
So if it just flickers onto it,
I think so.
not a market, but
I missed the sign, but then true.
All right. So checking my custard creams. I didn't get any blue ink on them. So yeah. Speed. Keep up to date, yeah. It's not really that something comes up that often with the lessons.
Yeah, because I think I pay attention on the other things more, and then I miss the sign maybe, and miss the clues on the roads maybe.
Signals correctly. You know, did you know there's one? The
first one, just after this, just on the roundabout there.
So what happened with your left signal?
I was confused. I thought going there on that exit, and then I realised that it's not, and then I changed it to the right signal straight away.
Oh, I get you. You're on about the very first one here.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to tell you. I needed you to work it out, but from what I was gathering, you wanted to go into a no entry.
Yeah. And then I realised that, and then I thought, okay, just put it back on the right. I hope nobody confused it.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody was. I think that was okay there. I was just thinking, there's no way I should need to tell you to not steer in there.
Yeah.
The biggest clue, even though there's not a no entry sign, is the curbs aren't shaped as though you're going to drive into The curbs are at an awkward angle where you wouldn't even be able to steer into it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have even. Plus, you had the van sat there.
Okay, and then I'll just remember you say, "Oh, just follow the roads," and say, "Oh, follow the roads," and then at the last minute, I realised that I did it wrong with the left signal, and I'll turn it back to the right straight away. Yeah.
To be fair, you was coming off anyway there, so you probably could have just left the signals alone, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
We also had the confusion of the Sat-nav as well, so that didn't help things.
I was really confused with the Sat-nav.
So I had to override it there, but as I say, just one of them things today with the Sat-nav. The roundabout I've got is the Blue Peter roundabout. And this is a signal that was incorrect, really. You come off the roundabout, it's the third one that you did after you started the test. You went straight on, second exit, and your left signal was still on for some time after you come off. There was a side road on the left and quite a few cars around and stuff.
Okay.
Nobody was affected, but there could have been. And on a different day, if a car was sat in that junction and your left signal's still on, coming towards it, what's that car likely to do to you? The one that's sat there waiting. Yeah. What's it likely to do?
It might think I'm turning left, maybe.
So then it's going to
pull out.
Exactly.
In front of me.
So that would be because you would have caused that to happen. Yeah, they shouldn't pull out. They should wait to see what you're doing, but they don't mean they will. So keep listening to that TikTok, and you've got the green flashing as well.
Okay.
A lot of the time it auto cancels, but sometimes it doesn't, especially if there's not much steering involved. Yeah. Next thing then is signals necessary. One time we moved off from the side of the road. Yeah. There was some cyclist oncoming. That was down Shardlow Road, I think, still.
Yeah.
So 2 cyclists coming in the distance on the right, we're on the left. What could them cyclists have just been about to do at the point where you moved off? What could they have been about to do?
They might think we going towards to them. Not what
they might, they might not know is that what you mean? They might not know that we're about to move off towards them.
Yeah, I think so.
Because if they're about to cross the road and go down a cycle path, which is on the other side of their road, they need to know that, hey, the white car that looked like it was parked is now moving out and moving towards them. So don't you cross, because I'm coming in any moment now. If you don't signal, we could both start to go at the same time and cause a confusion.
Okay. Sure.
So when you're looking around, it's anybody that could benefit. Yeah? In front or behind. I can't quite remember what the other signal fault was at the moment. In my mind, I'm thinking roundabouts, but what are you thinking?
I'm thinking of, I can't remember exactly, but I'm thinking at one time when you asked me to pull over in the left. Yeah. And then I still keep the signal on the left, even I'm prepared to move off. And then I turn it off.
Yeah, remember that. The point there is that you didn't actually move off with the left signal on. Yeah. So all the time you were stationary, your signal was telling people what it looks like you're actually doing, which is parked, even though in your mind you're just about to move off. So I don't think that affected anything there. So you're doing it with your right hand.
Yeah.
The signal. But do you know what? You don't need to signal right till you're actually about to move, and you're definitely going to go anyway. Yeah. So you think about that. When your left hand leaves the handbrake, it's going to go back to here, isn't it? So you can just go left hand off, the handbrake down, and on the signal with your left hand as it goes back to the steering wheel. So you don't need to be sat there with the signal flashing. So don't ever think that, because all the cars that are passing you at that point, they don't need to know you're going to move off anyway, because they'll be gone, and they'll be long gone anyway when you do. It's just anything within the far distance. The other signal I can't quite remember at this moment in time. I'm going to watch the footage back, of course. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to put in some bits and bobs, and hopefully that will come to light what that was.
I will check it as well. Yeah. See what I've done.
Yeah. You looking forward to watching it back?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Be interesting. I suppose.
See what I'm at the moment.
Yeah. Different perspective. I use the brake pedal to stop you from hitting the curb.
Yeah.
And so, anytime the examiner has to intervene by pressing the pedals or grabbing the wheel or verbally telling you not to do something, it would be classed as a dangerous fault, which would be a straight fail, right? But the point is, the examiner wouldn't have pressed the brake, they would have let you hit the curb.
Yeah, and then
unfortunately
they fail
but they wouldn't necessarily fail you for hitting the curb.
Okay.
It's bringing up a conversation, isn't it, about it?
Yeah. I hope not. But I'm never hit the curb really.
No, you don't, do you?
Yeah, never done that. Don't know why. Yeah, I wasn't concentrate on the road in the front of me. Instead of that, looking too long at the mirror.
Yeah. Planning and awareness, you went the wrong way. You've done that there before, you know, that same roundabout. So it's ahead, and I think it's because ahead slightly. So if we look at the traditional style ahead, it's 12 o'clock, isn't it, straight in front?
Yeah.
That one, slightly at 1 o'clock, and the first exit is more 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that it's that.
I think so. It's slightly different. It's slightly, and then in my mind I thought it's second exit, but then I think okay, it's like 10 o'clock. It's like quite straight, and then I'm just turning in, and then when I turn in, I thought okay, wrong. Okay, I've done it wrong.
Do you remember the counting thing we was on about this morning?
Yeah.
Count your exits. You can't go wrong. When are you counting them? When you're on the roundabout or on approach?
We'll try to do that from now then.
When you're on it or when you're on the approach?
When we at the roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to plan.
Don't wait till you've already if you can count exit 1 and 2 when you're at the lines or approaching the lines, that's a bonus. You already know your path then to your exit.
Yeah.
If you start counting when you're level with exit 1, you can do it, but it's a bit late. It's a lot to process at once because you're thinking it's all new information then.
Okay.
Yeah, so just a bit earlier planning with that. So I've marked with planning and awareness. Ancillary controls. This is all your buttons and everything, basically, these ancillary controls. Yeah, so...
Got to yeah.
So I asked you to show me the rear wiper. You didn't turn it back off. But you didn't need it though. I actually asked you to use that because it started raining, so it made sense. So it's something you needed, but then you didn't turn it off when it stopped raining. And I didn't mark it straight away. I left it for a bit to see if you'd realised, but then you could hear it rubbing. The front was rubbing on the screen. And that's the rubber just dragging on the glass because there's no water to glide to help it glide across, you know. So that could damage it over time. That could.
Okay.
All right. So that's all the faults discussed there. Apart from the one signal necessary, the parallel park. Quite happy with that.
Okay.
We recapped it recently, and we said that just to look in one place a little bit more. You were looking there more, but I still think you could have been done with being a bit more frequent looking there. What spot was that? What place is that? I told you to look a bit more.
At the back where we move. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so 12 driving faults to pass. Well done. How do you feel?
Really good, but still need to improve more about the planning ahead especially at the roundabout.
Yeah.
And the speed maybe need to look at more, and the gears.
Yeah, I think that's the main bulk of it, isn't it? Like we said, you don't normally do that thing with the parking. You don't normally forget to turn the wipers off, whatever it is. On a few junctions, it was towards the end of the test, you weren't positioning left of the curb as much as you could have been, especially on the sweeping ones. I felt maybe on a couple of roundabouts where the curb peeled left. I didn't mark it, but it's something worth looking at, you know, because we've been on about it quite a bit recently, haven't we?
So, yeah.
You know, if you're not following the curb, your positioning is going to be off in the new road. So
yeah, I remember that at the way we gone back at the some roundabout when we came back here. Yeah, so we can note that too.
That's probably worth because that can be or has been quite frequent in the past. So probably worth looking at just positioning in general. Because sometimes I felt your road positioning slightly to the right, but it's not all the time, and it's not for a long time. You sort it out. You're aware of it now. Months back, you weren't aware of it. You were always on the right, weren't you?
Yeah.
So just positioning, just general, really. So general, so road and junction, you know. So I'll keep an eye on that. But also the planning for roundabouts was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Planning for exits, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, just that at the roundabout, but anything else, I think I'm okay. Feel confident at the roundabout now.
Good. So any final thoughts?
Not really. All that about you saying already, so
Fantastic.
yeah, really good.
Okay, good. So this was mock test 1 with Rosie. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share and consider subscribing. See you again in the next video, guys.